Good evening, everyone. You're watching Awaz News. I'm Kubra Ali, and I'll be taking you to top news across Canada.
17-year-old student seriously injured in stabbing near Oakwood Collegiate Institute. Trudeau briefs other parties as 7th Canadian killed in Israel-Hamas hostilities. Ontario public high school teachers head to arbitration for new contract. Liberals to pause carbon pricing on heating oil beef up heat pump incentives.
Those were the headlines, and now let's look into the details.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has announced that the government will double the top-up to the carbon price rebate for rural Canadians beginning next April. Trudeau also says there will be a temporary 3-year pause to carbon pricing, measures that are applied to deliveries of heating oil beginning in 2 weeks. A government press release says the change will mean that households that use heating oil would save about $250 on average at the current rate. Through a pilot project, low and median income households in Atlantic Canada are to receive an upfront payment of $250 if they currently heat their homes with oil but sign up for a heat pump through a joint federal-provincial government program. The amount of federal funding that eligible homeowners can receive for the installation of a heat pump, which the government says can save households, save some $2,500 on their energy bills, is also going up. Trudeau says it means that lower income households will be able to get an average heat pump for free. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau met with senior members of the other parties Thursday to discuss Canada's approach to the Israel-Hamas conflict. The meeting was held in a very candid way by Mr. Trudeau and his entourage, Bloc Québécois leader Yves-François Blanchet told reporters in French. His office said the meeting included NDP leader Jagmeet Singh and Conservative Foreign Affairs critic Michael Chong. Tory leader Pierre Poilievre was in Nova Scotia on Thursday. Blanchet described it as a frank, helpful exchange on Canada's posture in the region and perception of ongoing events. Both the Bloc and NDP say they had requested such a meeting, and Blanchet said he argued that a closed-door meeting might be more informative than heated exchanges on the issue in the House of Commons. Singh's office said he raised issues he had outlined in a letter to Trudeau on Sunday. "I am asking for an urgent meeting between us to discuss how we can work together to end the bloodshed with a ceasefire, get Canadians out of the region, ensure the safe return of all hostages, and insist that international law be respected," reads the October 22nd letter. The Canadian press has reached out to Conservatives and Greens for comment. Global Affairs Canada confirmed Thursday that it is providing support to the family of a 7th Canadian killed during ongoing hostilities between Israel and Hamas. Foreign Affairs Minister Melanie Joly's office said Ottawa learned on Wednesday of another Canadian killed in the region, and her department relayed the update in a Thursday morning press release. The federal government also confirmed that 2 Canadians remain missing in the region. Officials are not confirming whether the 7th death occurred or when it happened, as Israel continues to fire missiles into the densely populated Gaza Strip in a retaliation for Hamas militants' October 7 attacks in Israel. 8 groups were scheduled to appear on Parliament Hill on Thursday to ramp up their calls for more humanitarian assistance to reach Hamas-controlled Gaza, which has been under siege since the conflict began. Canada is expected to weigh during a United Nations General Assembly debate on the matter on Friday. A 17-year-old boy is in hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries following a stabbing near a Toronto high school on Thursday afternoon. Officers were called to the Oakwood Collegiate Institute in the area of St. Clair Avenue West and Oakwood Avenue shortly before 1 p.m. When officers arrived, they located a 17-year-old male victim with a stab wound to his midsection in a stairwell. He was transported to a trauma center where he remains in a serious condition. Toronto police initially indicated that the stabbing occurred inside the school, but in a subsequent update, they said it doesn't appear that that was the case. In a press scrum, Duty Inspector Peter Webby said early police findings indicate the victim, a student at the school, had been stabbed off-site and then ran to the school to get help. "We don't believe it happened on school property. We are fairly confident it did not. But I don't have the details as it what happened off property at this point," Webby said. No suspect information has been released. Webby noted that police did not have motive for the stabbing, saying that it is still very early in the investigation. to determine what exactly transpired. He asked anyone with further information on this incident to contact Toronto Police. The school was placed under lockdown, but the order has since been lifted. Ontario's public high school teachers are now turning to binding arbitration to get a new contract as bargaining has concluded with the union unable to reach a negotiated deal with the province. The Ontario Secondary School Teachers Federation agreed to a novel process that eliminates the possibility of strikes during bargaining and for the next 3 years. The union ratified a deal last month with the government that would see negotiations continue until October 27th, after which any outstanding issues would be decided by an arbitrator. The last day of talks before the date wrapped up Wednesday. Both Union President Karen Littlewood and Education Minister Stephen Lecce said the parties made good progress recently in negotiations. Monetary issues will be settled by binding arbitration, Littlewood said. The last 2 months of bargaining was way more productive than the 14 months before that, and we were able to accomplish a lot. Still nothing to do with money because the Ford government is not investing in education, she said. I also think that the pathway that our members have approved for us to go to voluntary binding interest arbitration really had an impact on the success at the bargaining table. Lecce said he is pleased the remaining issues will be settled without the threat of strikes. At the end of the day, my priority is just keeping kids in school, he said. I'm frankly elated that we have a process that protects the in-person learning experience. The agreement to use arbitration will also see the teachers get a remedy for lost wages under wage restraint law known as Bill 124, though the details haven't been made public. The 3 other major teachers' unions have so far rejected the idea of using binding arbitration, and talks with them are continuing. There has been some movement at those bargaining tables, Lecce said, though it has been low.
Thank you for tuning in. I'm Kubra Ali. I'll be back tomorrow, same time, same channel. Have a good night.